Hello, dear friends. Today we're going to talk about period pain, PMS, and healing it. Having a pain free month, all month, having no mood swings, having the days on your period feel just as good as the regular days. That's how you were designed to be. That is how me and my family live. We don't have PMS. My sister, who's in her 20s, asked me what PMS even stands for because it's just been an irrelevant factor in our lives. I was talking to my mom about it. She's like, she thought I was talking about menopause because our family PMS is a non-factor, and I want it to be for you too. Now, it's going to be up to you to fully go down your own rabbit hole to get to your personal cure, but I'm going to try to point you to as many clues on how to heal PMS as possible. It blows my mind that I looked up the stats here. It says 50 to 75% of women experience symptoms of PMS, premenstrual syndrome, whether that's cramping or mood swings or something else. 20 to 40% experience severe symptoms. And I've lived with girls who were bedridden for a week with their PMS. And it blew my mind. And it was always like mind blowing because it's like, I don't experience this at all. And I want every woman to feel what I feel, which is it's a non factor. And society, because this is so prevalent in America, women are programmed to believe that there's no solution, that this is just part of being female. It's absolutely not. Doctors and experts, none of these people seem to have a cure. Cures for this are hard to find, and they lie in nature. So we're going to dive into nature. God designed us to not have PMS. We're supposed to feel great all the time. That's God's will, okay? Pain is always a sign of bad health. If you're having pain during or before your period, it means it's a health issue, and health issues can always be healed. The number one thing I'm going to say is you got to get back to eating whole foods. What you eat has a huge impact on this health issue. It's not entirely clear why my family is PMS free, because we always have. From my first period, we've never had PMS issues. But I know people who have healed their PMS. So if you have it, you can cure it. My family, we grew up off the grid, our garden, eating the red meat from cattle that my dad raised on our ranch, and we didn't ingest a lot of toxins at all. When you look at society and the way that from birth, babies are fed formula instead of breast milk, pieces of cold cereal, just completely malnourished diets from birth. On top of all the toxins they're intaking with all those injections they're getting, our family didn't do any of that. We were fed breast milk and we didn't get any injections. And I think it does start from, boosting your health from a young age. We can cure them. I'm just saying, I think this was the lead up to us not dealing with PMS at all. Now, when you're an adult, things like stress can factor into whether you have PMS and how bad it is. I know I've gone through extremely stressful periods in my life and still not had PMS. And I credit that to my early childhood background of a deep foundation in a very nourishing lifestyle. Had I not had that, and there were more holes in my nutritional background, things like stress may have given me PMS, yet none of this gave me PMS. So if you had a malnourished childhood like most Americans did, there's still a way to heal your PMS. Start eating whole foods right now. Eat cruciferous veggies, which are really good for female hormones. Cruciferous veggies are things like cauliflower and cabbage and Brussels sprouts, very nourishing to the female hormones. And take pregnancy supplements, guys. Sounds crazy if you're not trying to have a kid, but pregnancy supplements are going to help the pregnancy parts of your body. Okay. Periods are associated with gearing up for pregnancy. So that being said, it's logical that if you take supplements to help with pregnancy, those supplements are also going to help with your periods. I've gone through phases in my life where I'm like, I feel like I need to boost my female, like I need to make sure my female hormones, my female body parts are solid. I'm going to take pregnancy supplements, even though I'm not trying to get pregnant. So that means prenatal vitamins that you can get at the grocery store. I get stuff at Whole Foods. Pregnancy tea, even mother's milk tea, all these things are so good for nourishing your female organs and your female hormones that are going to contribute to your period. Okay. So take those. Also, there's been this movement lately of women saying their symptoms are not as painful if they're taking red meat. Is it the iron that's replacing the blood they're losing? Who knows? But when you look at my background, red meat's always been a part of my life. Yet I've gone through long phases where I didn't eat it too, and I was still okay. But again, I think that's due to my deep background in Whole Foods. If you're just eating fresh fruits and vegetables and meat, that's what I mean by Whole Foods. Also, few people realize that black and brown beans are actually a superfood. Eat your black and brown beans. They're actually extremely good for female health as well. My aunt healed her thyroid issue on a bean diet. So black and brown beans, you need to go down the rabbit hole on those as well. Karen Hurd has a good rabbit hole on black and brown beans. As far as healing your period in general, one woman with a great rabbit hole on healing your period is Monica Yadis on Instagram. Monica Yadis healed her period. She can even move her period to when she wants it. It was going to fall on her wedding, so she moved her period to when it wasn't going to be on her wedding. She has total control and total peace and total health and no pain. And now she's teaching people how in her courses, her podcasts, her emails. So you can probably DM her or email her and ask for those things. Her training on how to overcome this stuff. Period pain is also spiritual as well. This is where a lot of people get into, oh, it's just woo-woo. But your mindset impacts your life massively. Your mindset impacts your physical body. So if you have animosity towards your period, you've got to heal that. If you have animosity towards any aspect of being female, you need to heal that. And when you do, your period is going to reap the benefits of you honoring your femininity, honoring the fact that you have a period. It was easy for me not to have animosity towards my period because it didn't give me any pain. Never has. That being said, it can be annoying to bleed for a certain number of days each month, but I've always had this victorious mindset about it. Like, well, that's not gonna impact my life. I'm gonna wear white on those days if I want. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Period's great. It's just who I am. I'm glad to be female. And so start honoring your femininity and celebrating it and wear pretty dresses and be girly and just relish in the fact that you get to be female in this life. And it will cause the period pain to go away if you integrate all these things. Your diet, change your mindset. Another note I made here, you got to get off the toxins. Stop smoking cigarettes, stop binge drinking, stop taking any drugs, including pharmaceutical drugs. Get off of all pharmaceutical drugs. That sounds pretty harsh, right? But turns out our bodies actually know how to take care of themselves actually better when we don't interfere with a bunch of toxins, which pharmaceuticals are primarily toxins. When you get off of every pharmaceutical, every recreational, get back to natural foods, you will be amazed that your body snaps into knowing how to take care of itself in a healthy, pain-free way. And people like to say, well, if that was the truth, why isn't everyone doing it? Well, it turns out a toxic diet is extremely addictive. Toxic foods are wildly addictive, and switching back to just natural whole foods is one of the hardest things people will ever do. Breaking that addiction to toxic foods themselves and going back to natural foods. But you can make that shift. I made that shift. I used to eat toxic foods all the time, and I still do occasionally, but I mainly eat healthy foods, natural foods, whole foods, and you learn those are actually extremely delicious as well. So you can make that switch, just gradually, day by day, month by month, wean something else off. something else that's toxic, stop taking it, stop eating it, stop popping that pill, whatever it is. Wean yourself off of the pharmaceuticals, the recreational things like cigarettes and whatnot, and wean yourself off of toxic foods in your body. This will help your body get back to natural, pain-free, really will. You can even try some fasting, just drinking water. Try that 1 day per week. It really helps when your body is just not ingesting anything but water. It gets right down to serious business. There's tons of studies on this, of how your body starts to just self-rejuvenate in super speed. It's anti-aging, it's anti-inflammatory. Fasting is actually incredibly healthy, and that might help expedite your shift to a more natural lifestyle that is going to delete your period pain and your PMS. You need to start exercising too when you live an active life where you're moving your body like it was designed to move. That is going to help heal you as well. So get out and move. But for female health, I would recommend doing gentle movement, not these HIIT workouts, high intensity workouts, but more gentle exercises. You can start with walking and yoga, gentle movements, maybe even Pilates, lots of stretching and just getting that movement. I like to do easy jogs. I used to do sprinting workouts, and I realized my female health was craving something gentle. Now I just jog. Do stress reducing things, period. Have a peaceful life. Do things that give you peace. Get outside in the sunshine. Tune out the drama. If there's a ton of drama in the news, stop ingesting drama all the time and filling your mind with divisiveness. If you focus on things that are peaceful, things in nature, puppies and kittens, it does help. And like I said, that's been an area of weakness in my life, but my body's given me grace where even when I had chronic stress, I still didn't get PMS. I think because I had such a deep background in superfoods and nature from growing up off grid. So I'm just throwing this in there to say, maybe if you've been haunted with PMS your whole life, maybe you could spare your child from that by raising your child in a more natural environment of eating right and being in nature and not being locked into this crazy chaos of society. The bottom line, though, is that you're going to have to go down your own rabbit hole in this. I don't have all the answers for you. I'm just giving you clues. I do massively recommend D-Herbs Cleanse, the female cleanse on dherbs.com. Oh my gosh, I didn't mention that yet, did I? The female cleanse, dherbs.com. I did one ad deal with them. I begged them, like, let me do an ad deal with you because I love you. My family's been using their supplements for years. I did one ad deal with them like a year or two ago. But this video is not an ad deal. It's me literally saying, we've done all their cleanses. This is how we've kept great health. We haven't been off grid since I was a kid, and we're still really healthy because we know we've got to get back to nature. D-Herbs cleanses. They're going to give you all these herbal capsules that you pop tons of capsules every day on the cleanse while doing a raw vegan diet. Dude, it works. So read the reviews on this female cleanse. dherbs.com. The women cured their periods in one, I forget if it's a 10-day or 20-day. I think it's a 10-day cleanse. One 10-day cleanse, and their periods are healed. A woman who couldn't get pregnant got pregnant after the cleanse. Another woman, all her crazy cramps and mood swings went away. Another woman had found out she had a cyst on her ovaries. Her ovaries painlessly dissolved and released the cyst in the course of the cleanse. She goes back to the doctor and there's no more cyst. And the lady's like, yeah, you shed that cyst in your period, that you saw little clumps. That was the cyst coming out. So D-Herbs packs you with the nutrients you've been starving your body of during that cleanse and helps you honor your femininity. It teaches you the full holistic approach to healing your female part of you. So definitely I've done the female cleanse. I believe my mom has. I've done several of their cleanses. The herbs is just so legit. But if you look at the ingredients in those capsules of herbs you're taking, a lot of them are the same ingredients in pregnancy supplements. Things like red raspberry leaf, red clover. I would even recommend taking maca because it's also good. Just take maca capsules. It tastes terrible in powder form. I used to put scoops of maca in my smoothies every morning, but it just ruins the taste of the smoothie because maca tastes so bad, but it's so good for you as a female. Probably for men too, honestly. So just take these super supplements that help you, that come from nature. Maca is a plant, red raspberry, red clover, these plants that are so nourishing for your female parts. And I even take bee pollen as well. I put scoops of bee pollen in my morning smoothies. Now that actually tastes decent. And bee pollen is extremely good for your female hormones as well. It's actually high protein too. So these are just some recommendations. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to go down your own rabbit hole. But I've given you some solid tips here. So I hope you take advantage of them. Starts with just actually believing you've been lied to. If you were told periods were just, painful periods were a part of your life, they're not. They don't have to be. Pain does not have to be a part of your life at all. So let's step into believing in total healing. And I hope that happens for you very soon. Let me know how it goes. All right. Love you guys. Bye.